just came in off the street. We're gonna go ahead and start. Brandon said he'll be here.
I like to coach. 'Cause we don't want to coach.
You guys ready?
Stay with these. We trying to coach, but just didn't work out.
Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Youth Baseball Association of Royal Palm Beach September meeting. I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. We stand in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can't wait for it to cool down. Okay, we'll do a roll call. Vice President,
Here.
Secretary,
Here.
Treasurer,
Here.
Baseball Commissioner,
Here.
Softball Commissioner,
Here.
Member at Large Mancuso,
Here.
Member at Large Blumke, here. Member at Large Olivia.
Here.
Okay, Lexi sent out the August minutes. I hope everybody had a chance to look at them. If nobody has any questions about them, is there any questions about them? All right, I'd like to make a motion to vote in August minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, President's report. We are quickly coming up to opening night. I'm hoping that the sponsors and everything are straightened out. We'll probably get that in another report. But if we can, we talked about travel doing the games or anything that's going on. Is there any way you can start a travel thread and get them so we know that they have it covered or they have an idea or a plan? If you can put them all on one thread, baseball and softball, that'd probably be easier. And
Yeah.
that way they can people can say what they're going to do, they're not going to do. At least we know going into it.
Now, are they gonna be in charge of coming up with the games, or we have everything set up already?
It was on them to come up with the games and do whatever. I know somebody already did something with a
14U. Yeah, it's 14U. They have a dunk tank. They paid for it. They're doing it all. They're hosting from start to finish.
Okay.
They are going to have people jumping in.
So I mean, if you have a, like if you have a lottery board, how we do the lottery boards or
Yeah.
whatever you want to do, home run derby like Tony did one, it's not that hard to set it up. We have some stuff we're going to be. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I saw some prizes and stuff in the concession in the equipment room. So maybe there's something going on with that with the ball toss or whatever. But we were going to leave that up to the travel so they make their own. It's on them. They can come up with the funding and it can help them.
Martin, on the softball side, are they gonna travel softball? Are they gonna parade with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know 12U is. I'm
Yes.
not gonna say yet.
Okay. And we also are we going to do that? Is it going to be the same format as spring where Tony handles the
MC?
the
The MC.
the emceeing of introducing the? Did you do that last spring?
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean, I got so much praise on how you did it, how amazing it was. That
You did a really good job. Crisp and clear. And
I'll reach out to the guy who did the opening prayer and square that away. We'll reach out to the town crier.
We trying to get a first pitch again? Or they're in season?
It's yes.
can
Go
I
ahead.
chime in? This was all supposed to be an opening ceremony later on, but whatever.
Oh, yeah.
As a way to recognize the girls that made it to state, they were requesting that they get to throw out the first pitch, or somehow we can recognize them. Have their pitch and their pitcher and catcher. I don't know.
We can do that for softball.
Okay.
Softball can do the pitcher and
Yeah,
catcher that went to
Tristan
state.
is-
We
can do
did
that.
a separate baseball and softball.
We did.
Okay.
We did. We did.
Tristan
And
is
then,
busy, probably.
Brandon will be able to tell us because the mayor always jumps in for the first pitch. It's like every
Yeah, he
single
does.
one. He takes advantage of that and jumps right in. So if we're going to cover that later, let me go on. It's just I want to make sure opening night is going good, and opening day will take care of itself. And other than that, I want to make sure concessions set up and good to go and ready to go too. But that's it. I'm just throwing all that out there in my report so everybody can be thinking about this stuff. We have like 2 weeks. And that's all I got. So we're going to go on to Vice President report.
I don't have much. No news is good news. I haven't heard any issues with equipment. I haven't heard any issues with field scheduling. 15 DD. I literally sent a text out introducing myself, and I haven't got one text. It's actually really- works for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, they know you know the chain of command. So if you want to handle it, then but you're doing 12 though now. So okay, makes my job easier. Besides that, yeah, no, practicing and getting ready for open ceremony. That's all I got.
Miss Courtney.
Okay. So I met with the accountant like 2 weeks ago. The league has not filed taxes in 2 years. So that's bad. So we're trying to get all that straightened out. I was telling Lexi it's kind of, there's a lot to go through, so it's going to probably take a while, but we have to do it. If you go 3 years, you can lose your nonprofit status. So we got to do that. That's like majorly important. So I'm on that. Jill's working, they're going through all of our bank accounts and working up how much, we're going to have to pay for it, how much it's going to cost and what all they need to do. But all the things that we have to do quarterly will be on like a rotation, so this doesn't happen again.
So they'll notify us or automatically send it to us in turn, or
Yes.
you, and in turn
Yeah.
you'll get it to Brandon.
And there are, like, through Sundays now, there are DBA of record, like, they'll handle all that stuff. We got the address changed for all that kind of stuff. So that's good. Jill is great, so I think it will be good. But it's going to take a little bit, I think, because there's a lot. Like, the last thing we have in there is from 2019, and it was the Keith Fest.
And I believe they went on and did our thing, changing the officers and all that
Yes,
other
they
stuff
did.
too.
Yeah, there's a couple things I need her. She's like spelled my last name wrong and a couple like little things, but they're gonna handle that. Like they're our agent to do that now. So anytime there is anything, if you guys let me know, they can do that. So
Thank you.
bringing up concession, Glenn and I figured out we did not get paid for any credit card charges at concession all of spring. All of that got lost. So I don't know. The machine wasn't working, and I guess nobody knew, or we never got any of that money. It's like I don't even know.
The machine spit out a receipt like it got charged,
And it
but
didn't.
it didn't get charged. So,
Well, we already changed that. We have Square now, and it works
Yeah.
because we used it at
Willow's Bash.
Willow's Bash, and it works. And
We've
I
tried
saw,
it.
I saw the money go in. Yes, it
we
did.
actually went away from that. Now we can use Square. If we get 15 going, we can use it over there.
You
So
can
it's
use
going
it
to
with
make
your
things a
phone.
lot easier, and it goes through this to get to this to get to this. It goes through this, and it's straight to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it went right in.
Would we consider setting up a Zelle? I mean, lots of parks I go to now take Zelle.
We have it. It's like through mine. I mean, to link to the account, but so we can do that.
I'm in tournaments all the time, just about every single park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the capability. So yeah, if somebody wants to Zelle, we can.
Yeah,
Like
it's there. It's
sponsored
set up
checks or
basically.
anything.
We just need the. I mean, don't they have a little hashtag thing there, or the little scan thing you can put?
Code.
Yeah,
And you just hit it.
yeah, I can figure out how we could get that, and we could put it up there, and you could just
Like a
scan
sticker?
it.
Credit card takes a percentage. Zelle
Yeah.
doesn't, so.
Yeah,
Not
I
yet.
know it's coming.
Hey, we got big pin problem.
Yeah, that might be something I need to ask Jill about too, because I know Venmo and Zelle are getting all weird about auditing you now, and it's over like a certain amount because people are hiding so much money through that.
I think it's over if you're
Yeah, I think like if it's over $600, you got to start
claiming it,
Yeah, but that is something we can look into. I can ask her about that.
especially for a business.
Another big thing is, I think have been a lot of lost checks, sponsorship ones, whatever. Like I know people are just standing around and people are coming up in the field, like in the middle of a game, here, and like half of them, they're just like disappear. So we gotta be a little more diligent about that. If you don't want to take it, like just say no. or we need to like, if you want it to be me, if we need it to be go to one person, like, but there's been a lot that got lost, I think. So we need to work on that.
Who is taking the checks? Because I know some people have asked, and I don't like being responsible
all
for
of the board members are able.
them. Well,
Olivia's
okay,
been
if I
collecting
take
the
one, who's
most.
it going to?
Me or
Who are-
Courtney.
Yes.
Because I've been doing the shirts, so I've been taking the sponsors, and then I just gave it to Courtney.
Yeah, so she has all the papers and the checks, and that's great. She's been like holding on to them together, but yeah. So if we can be better at that, well, I think we can get it cleaned up.
Yes. Lots of possibly.
And
That's the best treasury report I've heard in 3 years.
Yes, yes, it is.
did you get my statements?
Yes, I did.
Okay, great.
I got all the statements, so we're good. And,
Okay.
and like you said, you're on a you're on a good track. So,
Yes.
um,
I'm feeling good
Thank
about
you.
this.
Okay, good. Okay, I think that's all I got.
Okay, that's huge though. I mean, I don't know if you guys realize it, but not getting those credit card sales the whole season, that was huge. That was huge. So but it's all moving forward. We're fixing things as quick as we can. And there's a lot of, there's a handful, a good chunk of stuff we got to work through. But I think we're getting the right people in the right spots because I already feel good about what's going on right now, just with the treasurer part. All right. Thank you, Courtney. Mr. Candalas?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think things are moving along pretty good. Definitely, I don't know that there's a way around it, right? But just a ton of changes in rosters and people, registering late and, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it seems to be getting worse instead of better. I know, Lexi's been handling a lot of the stuff. I've been passing your number out every time. Get with Lexi. But yeah, it seems I don't know, people wanting to move kids around, move them up, move them down. So it's been rough. We did kind of, I think we had a situation where some kids, I think from 6U wanted to move up to 8U or something like that. And I kind of just said no because it was going to really screw up, the draft that had already been done, right? These teams already picked these players. And honestly, they were sort of the best two players on both of these teams. So to move them up and pull them out of that division was just going to create a mess. So, it is what it is. We tell our parents, right, that they need to put that stuff in the comments, right, when they register. Kind of come in after the fact, after all the drafts are done, everything else is just, it's almost impossible, right? Because you're gonna mess something up by moving those kids around. That being said, I think we're finally getting to the point where we have everything cleaned up. So that's kind of what I have. I mean, obviously the focus, this last month was all the pre-season stuff. Evals went pretty good. Thanks for all the help for everybody that was out there. I think it went pretty smoothly. Drafts went pretty well as well. All the teams are, as usual, right? They're within a few points of each other. Some of them less than a whole point on that kind of total score, so they should be pretty even, which is what we want. Pretty good, right? Pretty good numbers for fall, to be honest. Because looking at some of the divisions, there's a good team or two maybe, and some of them, especially like 10U, 12U, right, that are kind of travel kids that aren't playing right in the fall. But if you were to throw those in there, we'd have some pretty big numbers. So I think we did pretty good for fall. And I think we're going to interleague with Acreage on a couple of the divisions where it makes sense for us. It's mostly the older ones, 10U, 12U. So I mean, it all looks pretty good. And obviously we have we have the opening ceremonies coming up. So I will get prepared for that. But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think from you and Martin's point of view, you get through opening day, opening night and opening day, and you can put it on cruise for a little bit. It's the that's what when I was a commissioner, it was just getting through opening day, and then it was on cruise control for a little bit.
I don't know if this is the right time or not, but I just want to make sure that Olivia, you have what you need for uniforms, sponsors, coach jersey sizes. I don't know if you're missing any. Regardless of division, so we can kind of. I did definitely hand them off to the DVs.
Yeah. I'm missing one from 15U, baseball, Pirates. Can you give me a name? That's all I need. Okay. 2 from 8U
Scotty's
softball.
uniforms.
Some from softball. It's mostly softball. Everybody likes baseball. Is wonderful. Baseball's done.
Who you missing in softball? You're missing checks, right?
It names as well. Both the 10U softballs, 8U.
I just gave you 10
One is okay. So I'm missing one 8U, one 10U, and one from 14U. So 3.
Ricky?
3.
Three.
3 in total from softball.
Okay, but what 14U team don't you have?
Owls.
Owls. Are they still the Owls, or did they change their name?
They're still owls.
Okay, because he asked me if he could change. I said he had to talk to you.
Oh.
Which
Miguel.
Miguel?
Yeah.
Did you already talk to him?
Yeah, he wanted to change it before the jersey colors. I said, we only do Florida teams unless you have another. He said, "Oh, stay."
He wanted a different. Okay.
That's it. But other than that, I have all the uniforms in. They're submitted to Scotty's.
All right, I can probably get a sponsor for Miguel's team. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay.
And Jerry said
Jerry said-
Scotty's will
yeah, Scotty
sponsor
was
one
supposed-
team. Whoever's the straggler. I think there's the 8U. She was getting her information to us tomorrow. I think.
If
That's what she
Pirates
said.
cannot get his, we'll use Scotty's for the Pirates.
The other 10U. Okay. So then
I
the other
just wanna-
10U softball team would be the only one that would be missing.
I just want to throw this out there, but Gary Stelzner is always good for a sponsor too,
Oh yeah, he was.
every season.
Yeah, he has a few in his back pocket usually.
Yeah,
He might be using them both this season. though.
I think he is. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't use Angel Pipers. He used Buds and someone else.
Yeah, I don't know who the other one was.
Okay, Tony.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. You're doing amazing, dude. Martin.
Evals went really good. Tony, hats off, man. That was excellent draft. Easiest one I've ever been to in my life.
Welcome to the 20th century.
I guess I deserve that. But anyway, that part went good. But just like Tony said, softball's got the same problem as baseball. You got people wanting to move down, people want to move up, people want to pull their kid off. It's ridiculous. Last minute signups. I think we have 2 today, right?
Mhm.
Or only one actually do it.
One actually came through. The other one said she wants to, but she hasn't come on yet. So we'll see.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, as far as the 14U sponsor, like I said, I can probably come up with a check for that. Come up with a sponsor for that. Take care of it. When we have opening ceremony, I need Tony to call out the 14U team separate. Say all the girls on the 14U All-Star team step forward, recognize them for winning districts and going to state, and then do the same thing for 12U, but they won districts, won state, and went to the World Series. And I think that's the only way everybody's going to be able to recognize them, give them a little bit of fame. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I think we can we can pull them kind of forward, kind of bring them up, that little podium thing there, and do it then.
Do we bring the are they all still, I mean, they were all-stars, so they may not be playing right now. Do we have a
Well,
way to
if
reach
they're
out to them?
there, we just reach out to the ones that have been
Okay,
there. That's
so
all.
we'll have a way to get a hold of them.
Well, I can get a hold of all of them.
Good. Okay.
All right. And the other problem is, Brandon knows, is soccer has disintegrated the fields over at Farron. They are junk. You probably have to resod the whole place. It's that bad. And tonight, I try to be as diplomatic as I can, but I had a problem at Camilla, as you know.
Yeah.
And they're arrogant, telling us they ain't getting off the damn field.
Yeah.
Don't get arrogant with me.
No.
And then we went back. The older team that was supposed to be practicing at 7, they come over to Farron and try to practice over there. And there's baseball. I mean, softball has batting practice. They're launching balls left and right, and they're telling us we can't be doing that. Well,
On which field at Farron?
2?
2? No, they shouldn't.
Yeah, I know. They
Yeah.
said this league's 30 years old. And they called some guy named Perez and said this is the league head of the thing.
So
I said, you know what? I don't care who Perez is. I deal with the village.
So yeah, that isn't our soccer club. That isn't our provider for soccer. That is an adult group.
I know.
That is they aren't supposed to be out there at all.
I know.
So in
It
that
almost,
instance,
it almost went fisticuffs there for a minute.
yeah, that one we'll have to deal with them because no, nobody. The only field over at Farron that we've ever let anybody use is the back part of field 3, that multi-purpose area,
Right.
and but never on 1 or 2 in the outfield. So if
Well,
that's going on out there,
They've torn those fields to living hell.
yeah,
And you can tell the village hasn't been over it since we closed the season
Mm.
because the tree limbs, the brush, the debris, the trash, the fields themselves, they're bad.
yeah,
And at Camilla, you need to have somebody go over there and drag that field because the pitching rubber sticks up out of the ground almost 6 inches. I've never seen a rubber that thick in my life.
Mm.
So you got to have dirt brought in or something.
yeah. No, I knew I was gonna say them in my report, but then I saw it on New Business too. But those are 2 of the areas that.
Is there any way I can get a copy of the permit sent to me on my phone, a text, something, just so I can say in your
So
face?
you have it, yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I'll send it to you.
Thanks. Other than that, that's about all I got. Looking forward to, we got a pretty good turnout for fall. So let's get it done.
Thank you. All right. Secretary's report.
Okay. Not much to report. I'm working on the schedule, game schedule. It should be done by the end of the weekend, and I'm just giving myself a couple extra days. We plan to interleague with Lake Lytle, which is FIPS for softball, 8s and 10s, and then Acreage for the older baseballs, like Tony said before. Acreage for baseball. Oh, and I'm sorry, she does want to interleague with our older girls. But you're right. You're right. Yes, I'm sorry. She's got only one team, which, if it's okay, I mean, I'll have to discuss it with you guys, but I wanted to kind of squeeze them in during the week, a weeknight, you know what I mean? Just as an added kind of practice game, I guess.
Like an extra game. That's not going to hurt us.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's all. I think that's all. Yeah.
Thank you. That was amazing. Village report.
On the financial side of it, Courtney, you hit a lot of it that I was gonna say. I have an attachment A that just shows all of the documents needed, financials needed, the timeline of when they're due. Do you have that?
I gave that I have it on my phone. And
Okay.
I gave it to the accountant, so that's what they're working on.
Okay.
So that they can have all of that, and we do it. It's quarterly, right? All the stuff that we need.
Yeah, quarterly.
So
And then the
we'll have
taxes
all
are
those
annual.
produced quarterly, like we said, kind of like on a clockwork now. So we'll just send it directly to you, so you won't have to keep
Okay.
asking, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yes, I do have it.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
Want to make sure with that. fields, I know today, Martin, we had the issue today, so we were able to get that one worked out, and then going forward, we won't have it again. I'll deal with the soccer. As far as the maintenance of the fields, especially Farron and Camellia, the softball side of it, I know we're going to it a little bit in new business, but pretty much we have to get on it. And have to get the guys on it is unacceptable. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. We've been pulling a lot of guys to a lot of different parks, just trying to make sure some things are getting done. But like I said, for over at Farron to be kind of left, we'll get back on, and that'll be up to par. And Camellia as well, since that's you all will be using that. So those two will get up to par, and they will be up to par prior to opening day. And I will guarantee you that. But and other than that, that's it. Like I said, we're gonna make some moves and really make sure that those are handled. And that's all I got right now.
Thank you, sir. That being the end of the reports, nobody has any questions about the reports. I'd like to make a motion to vote in the reports.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Old business, we've hit a lot of it. But opening ceremonies is the first thing on the list. And Brandon, are you going to be able to reach out to the mayor and all that other stuff and try to work that out with opening ceremonies with him being involved or whatever?
Yeah. So we've already reached out to him. I'm pretty sure that they're all mayor and council. They will all be there. With the mayor throwing out the baseball opening pitch.
Yeah.
And
you'll get their names in every positions to Tony.
Yeah, I get that to Tony. And then I think that's all we have opening ceremony on that end. As far as the high school, I'm still waiting on him to get back the official confirmation of the bus loop parking lot. But once that goes through, that should be good to go too. So we'll be good there.
Okay, and as far as the I think last time we had two food trucks. You just need to make sure we get you their insurances and all the other stuff, and they're registered with the village.
Yeah, so they need to have their certificate of liability, and they need to name the village of Royal Palm Beach additionally insured.
So that's what we need to make sure we have the food trucks there, because we're not doing a concession. We do it like last time.
Well, me and Lex.
Yes, that was the problem. So we had the idea, Olivia and I were talking about
If one of the travel teams for their fundraiser to sell pizza or Chick-fil-A, just get a table.
Try to do that instead. Just keep it, because the thing about the food trucks, they got to be out in the parking lot or whatever. So it's kind of like
park in the mulch anymore.
we can't. All the traffic is going out to the parking lot. You know, is it better to if one of the teams sets up a table and sells Chick-fil-A sandwiches? You know,
Yeah, whatever they want to do, if you can get them to commit to the food for opening night and that's part of their thing, I have no problem with it. You know, just I want to make sure it's taken care of though. You know.
Yeah.
Pizza was great at Willow's Bash, but
Yeah.
you're gonna have to open concession to warm it, I think.
Oh, that's true. We don't wanna do that.
We made so much money. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Because they're so cheap and everybody loved it. I think people were buying whole pizzas,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be cold if you don't open up the thing. You know?
True.
Right.
I would just like to know by the end of this week what the travel's going to do so we can start a flyer.
Okay, he's in charge of travel. All right.
One.
He'll get that to you. Dustin will get that to you.
Other than that,
Okay. Did anybody else got anything questions about opening ceremony?
I booked the DJ.
we reached out to the helmet lady. I don't know if she's gone.
Yeah, the airbrush. I don't know.
She
She
hasn't
should have
got
got back
back to
to
us.
us to see if she's coming. I have the permit application here. I don't know if it's
I'll take it.
okay. Thanks. Fine.
Okay. Now the next item on here is trunk or treat. I know we've talked about it for 2 months. Is that something we're going to do? And do we have a date?
This 22nd.
It's the week before Halloween.
What is
So
that?
Friday
Don't we
night
need 60
before.
days to host a tournament?
I have that
What's
permit
that?
request there too.
No,
I
it's
have it
trunk or
here.
treat, not a tournament.
No, it's not a tournament. No, well,
No one gave us
I mean,
Term answer.
it would.
You're talking about the pumpkin smash.
Softball couldn't do it, and that was the original plan, was to do it as softball. And nobody really expressed interest in wanting to do it. So we thought maybe just doing a trunk or treat, like family fun night kind of thing, and maybe even still that would be a lot of work for a little return. I don't know.
Well, there's not. I thought it was more to give the baseball team somewhere like camaraderie, the trick or treat in our parking lot. With all the teams setting up.
I love
different
Halloween.
spots.
I will do it. I'm all about it.
And you just, that way it's another way for us to bond with everybody, and everybody dresses up, and the kids walk through it and do trunk or treat right at our park. Because half of us live, or more than half of us live out in the acreage in Loxahatchee, and you have to go somewhere anyway. And I know it's a week before everybody else is doing theirs, but that also is going to free, they get to do it twice. You know what I mean?
Do we think it's a waste? Do we want to do it? Is that something we all would want to do? No, too much.
You would do it?
Mhm. 22nd, the Friday before Halloween. 21st. 21st, the Friday night.
Because that's when Okeechoblee's doing their baseball Halloween tournament.
75% of your board will be out of town.
Yeah, that too.
But no. So if we can get that lined up, I know we've mentioned it. Do we need it? Is there a permit for that?
Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah.
And that was you can do it by we want to put that out. We have time.
We have to advertise. Yeah, we
Yeah,
just have to
time
advertise it.
But you can do.
The idea would be for the families to set up a
Yeah, because we
a
could do the
canopy or
best
whatever.
trunk, do a there's prizes. Or you could do trophies, use up our trophies.
the old trophies that are up there that we can just change them out.
Best trunk.
You could bring your golf carts if you
Yeah.
live close. Decorate your golf cart.
Okay. Anyway, stay on that stuff.
I have too much on my plate.
That's old business. If nobody has any else questions about trunk or treat, we'll go to new business. I know this says increase umpire pay. I already went through that with Danny. We ended up, we increased it just like all the other parks. It went up $5 a umpire per game, and then 12U now matches 15U as far as pay. I did some due diligence, and that's basically what everybody's paying the same thing. So we're good there. The other thing is Danny reached out to me also about a scheduling fee, and he suggested. Now he's not demanding, so don't think that he's not going anywhere. He's not forcing anybody's hand or anything like that. He's just, hey, this is a suggestion. Other people get it. Maybe I can, as getting a fee for scheduling. He did it. He suggested, $3 or $5 a game or something like that. I made some phone calls to other leagues, and they do it a couple different ways.
A flat
one-
fee.
What is it?
A flat fee works easy.
The one one does flat fee, one does per game. The one I'm most leaning towards is one park. They go through the year, and at the end of the year, if they had a good season and everything worked out with the umps and stuff like that, they kick them a bonus. They give Danny a bonus for scheduling. If the year wasn't that great, then it's half the bonus. If the year went with no problems, no hiccups, and
All the board members had to umpire all the games at the end.
there were
and all
some
the-
issues
yeah.
this year, but they were in a lot of parks, and there was a shortage of umpires. My point is, if it's something out of his control, then we don't hold that against him. But if it's a scheduling thing where he dropped the ball, then it can be relative to what his bonus is at the end of the year.
Yeah, but it's just like going to a bar. You hit that bartender with a good tip right off the bat with your first drink, he's on you every single time. So then you're going to get the choice umpires.
Yeah,
Just a thought.
You think we will?
Yeah, it's not. It's
I'm with you there. Yes.
Maybe we could do
Do the
like
bonus
a
up
half
front?
chunk, and then at the end of the season, if everything goes, you give him
I
more.
like that.
He does a lot. Like I'm on the phone constantly with him, figuring out problems. I mean, you think about it, you have a ton of umpires, and they're all under him. Those are like employees, and he, that schedule changed a lot at the end. He does a lot.
I like that where it's kicking, half at the beginning and then half at the end. Because it shows them we're serious about getting good umpires, and then it shows us we were serious about thank you.
How are we paying the umpires? We're not paying them before the game anymore, so when they
No.
walk out.
We paying? Okay.
The umpires will come to concession, get rung through the register, and one of us board members will be there till the end of the night. Whoever's the FD will be there till the end of the night
Stay
to
till
make
the
sure,
last
and
game.
probably walk out with Olivia or whoever to make sure everybody's good at the end of the night.
What are we paying per umpire for each game right now?
It's different from small all the way to the top. I think
Dave-
Dave has.
Dave's
I have it on my phone too, but let Dave pull
Let's
it up.
use 10U as a
I think it was.
marker.
I
10U,
feel like it
think
was
it's
40 and 45.
Yeah, see, like in travel, we pay 55.
Did it?
Yeah.
It
So
was
now they're
it
gonna
was
be-
50 like a year or so ago,
Right.
and they sent something out because of the gas prices.
We got
And-
the
and-
same thing.
15U is 55 and 50.
12 U's the same.
12U's the same, and 9-10s are 50, 45.
So it went up.
Yeah.
It was 45,
I
40.
mean, right, like the guys that are doing the games, right? It's the same amount of time for them, right? The umpires. So we've been paying 55 in travel for a year now.
And
Well, we're getting
actually,
ready
lots,
to.
lots
with
of the rec games are
with the-
longer sometimes. Than
Yeah,
travel.
I guess. I mean, the travel games are probably easier.
With
the
the,
rec games, weird stuff goes on.
with the bonus we're talking about, it's going to be comparable
around
to
there.
exactly what you're
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
mean, so I mean,
And then if he does great, we kick him again at the end. I like all that stuff.
What about softball? What are the prices?
I don't have the softball prices. They didn't change. I don't think. I think their softball was 40, 45. Or is
I think so.
35, 40.
35, 40.
35, 40,
35,
and
40.
then 40, 45. I think.
Because their games are only an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess 10U is no 10's an hour, 45.
I think it's 40, 45, 30, 35, 40, 45, and it goes all the way down to
20 and 20,
20 and 25.
or 25
Yeah,
and 30.
15U's always been a little bit more. I know it's the same time as 12U, but he usually gives us more of the elite.
Experienced guys, yeah.
yeah. To be honest, I thought he was getting paid the whole time for rec.
So did I.
So I had talked to him.
It's a lot of work.
Anyone under 18, like all the kids, they don't pay a fee, but the umpires do pay like I think it's like a $5 fee.
It's a $5 game scheduling fee, but he's behind the ball. He's the last one to start charging for that. He just started charging like a season or two ago. Before that, he never charged, and it was a lot of work not to
It's a
charge.
ton
and,
of
he said,
work.
and he said anyone under 18, he'll never charge.
Yeah. So I mean, he's taking care of us,
Yeah,
and I want to take care of him.
So do we discuss what the first payment would be, or what do you, I mean, I
I'll
think
do the
we-
same thing.
You
I'll make
have to
phone
figure
calls.
out-
Olivia
you have
did
to
the
figure
math.
out how many games you have.
she did the math, and I think it came out to like $700. If we went $5 a game, it was $700.
But what I was gonna do. Yeah, what I was gonna do was, at the beginning, I was gonna give him 5, and then at the end, if he does great, I give him another 5. And what it
Before
is we figured it out, and it comes out to 7. If we pay him $5 a game, it's 7. So I went a little bit
Including
below,
playoffs?
and then at the end, I go a little bit above. If he has a great season and we don't have any issues with umpires, then we give him another 5 at the end.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we go under what it would be, and then we go over at the end. Once we have no problem with umpires and no issues or anything. That's what I was kicking at.
but one thing this season, we need to be more aggressive with stopping crap
Yeah.
during games because that was. I mean, I dealt with a lot of crap with parents and umpires. Like we can't have that. 'Cause we almost. There was quite a few of our good umpires that almost never came back here.
Yeah.
And then we get stuck with the ones that people really don't like.
Yeah. I feel
So-
like Sky did a good job telling all the managers that were at the draft. I don't
Yeah.
know how it went with the 15
Yeah,
you
he did
guys.
really good.
I mean, we kind of just said,
I'm
nip in
just
the
saying,
bud right
like,
away.
especially
so we
at
don't
the
have to-
beginning, we need to nip it quick.
Yeah. Definitely.
Do we have the code of ethics forms yet?
I turned those in last Monday. I needed 200 copies, and they just called me today and said that they're ready. So I'll go pick them up in the
Okay.
morning. But I'm like,
Is that the same
200. I
ones
could have
we've
gone
been
to
signing?
Office Depot.
Those?
Yeah. Yeah, those are the ones that are completed. I could have gone to Office Depot and made them.
Should have handwritten them.
Okay.
I think that idea sounds good though. Give him something up front.
Yeah.
And then so he's in our that's the tip to the waiter,
Good grace.
the bartender, so to speak.
And then take care of him at the end, so
Right.
he's good to go next season.
Yeah. But he does a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about rainouts and what he's got to do to cancel people too. Like I don't know how he keeps it straight, to be honest with you. And I'm just dealing with him with my own team for travel, and all the time I'm like, hey, I need an umpire for Friday. He's like, okay, I need two. And all of a sudden, like that day, I'll be like, hey, we're rained out.
Yeah, he did mention you in our
You know what I mean?
conversation. I'm just kidding.
No, he's on it, right? So
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
I
it's a
mean,
lot. All right. Field conditions, fair and Camellia. We beat that horse to death.
Wait,
Anybody else
I
got
want to.
anything?
Yes, I want to ask. Are they allowed? We're allowed to have them practicing there when it's daylight, right? Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I've told a few teams like they can go 6 to 7:30 until it's
Till-
daylight savings.
Yeah, Farron's still good to practice on as long as up until
And then
nightfall.
Saturdays.
Dusk. And then
Okay.
Saturday.
and
There-
then Saturdays. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
we're not gonna have any games over there unless absolutely
We're not gonna have any
necessary.
games.
But I just okay. Thanks.
Okay.
All right. Field 4 at Willows. Someone mentioned that it's eroded away. It's almost flat.
The mound.
Mountains
Yeah, I
flat.
saw that text. I'm gonna have Danny go out and take a look at it, and he's gonna have to build that back up.
And I mean, you can only do so much because we're practicing. We're not practicing. We're having games, and you know. So I mean, it's just if you can get it, do the best you can, and then if it's something we have to fix in between, then we really fix in between.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I want to throw one in there too. Field 2. The rubber is probably the same type scenario. You probably need a wheelbarrow worth of clay, but it's too high. So the pitching machines, right, are supposed to be right in front of the rubber, and then they have this back leg, right? It's too low, kind of like where if you were pitching, where you would be stepping. So the thing's like the machine's teeter-tottering, right? Because the front's not quite high enough. It's supposed to be stable. So like I said, it's probably a wheelbarrow worth of clay. So the mound on field 2. Just basically, I mean, if you were just to even the thing out, so the rubber is at the surface of the rest of the clay, I think it would solve the problem. Right?
That's actually
Yeah. Either way. Yeah.
flat.
I got what you mean.
Yeah.
That
it's-
one's probably an easier fix than 4. You know, that
Yeah,
one's
that's
a
an
wheelbarrow
easy- I
dirt.
think that's
4,
an
you
easy
need a
one.
whole new mount.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one to fix. But yeah, so we can actually place the machine right where it's supposed to be, rather than have to, put it behind the rubber, right, which is now a little bit too far, or vice versa. So, but yeah,
All right.
I think
I'll,
that one's probably an easier fix.
No, I'll send him that and go out in the morning and get some snaps of it so I can see
Yeah.
see with my eyes and show him what needs to be done to it. But 2 and 4.
I was dealing with it during evals.
1 4 miles. Ooh.
I noticed there was, I don't know if you have to contractor takes care of this, but the one of the batting cage lights is out,
Lights out.
just one, so it's like half dark where they bat, and then but where the pitcher would be at the machine.
All
there's
right.
Light. And there's a few parking lot lights too. Definitely the batting cage light though.
Yeah, I
It's
think
starting
that
to get darker now.
I think the parking lot lights are contracted. I think the batting cage lights are low enough that we might be able to get to them. So I put in a work order for those.
Your name?
Which one? Ryan Rodriguez. The cage closest to the big field. I don't know if that's 3.
Yeah.
You can't have kids stand behind the net while you have a machine because the ball goes right through the net. So I got to have all the kids clump up next to the kids having their cage, because if you have somebody stand, I have to stand there. I was crouching down trying to stop balls because there's no net. Goes right to the fence.
So is it a hole in it or
The
hole in
whole
net?
bottom's missing.
Okay.
Literally, there's a whole section that's not even touching the bottom in the
Just
middle
brown.
part. Yeah.
And the L screens are
Yeah,
really
the
bad
L
in
screens
there.
need to be
I was
re.
pitching a 15U, and
Restretched.
that's pretty sketchy.
Yeah, if you
Those-
could have them look at the L screens because they've got holes in them too.
Holes in. But those are kind of like the custom L screens that are welded together.
Yeah.
Are those okay?
But I mean, it's like
It's the
it's
mesh,
gone.
right? The netting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The netting's like gone.
Gone off.
There's not enough tie wraps to make that thing work.
No, you're gonna just keep busting them. They will keep tearing off. Yeah,
I
so you
have,
get some- order some new
I don't
nets
want
for
that
'em.
challenge.
I have we were looking at
Number 3.
a young gentleman and me were looking at the scoreboards, trying to make all the scoreboards work and everything. We got 1 working, 2 working. We're working on 4. When we were researching 3 as to why the controller and stuff wouldn't work, we walked around, and what we found is behind field 3, like right left field, like right between the fence and the road, where they put one of the new lights, the new LED lights. When they augured, they went right through the pipe feeding the sign, feeding the scoreboard. Yeah, it looks like they might have parked the way we found it was, you look down, there's a big junction box just collapsed in. It looked like they might have parked the crane there when they were doing their stuff with the light and parked right on the junction box for that. So they crushed that, which I thought wasn't, okay, this is workable and everything. But where they augured for the new light, they augured right through the feed for the scoreboard for field 3.
Probably too late to go back and say, hey, you broke
Yeah.
our stuff. I mean, it stinks.
But that's it. Just check it out. Your maintenance guys will
Yeah,
see it.
we get the
You
I'm gonna
can't
get the
miss it.
electricians out there to
Yeah,
take a
you
look
can't
at that
miss
one.
it. They'll see it.
Okay,
But yeah, that's why field 3 is
and that's on 3.
left field. Yeah,
Are the other scoreboards working? Yeah, 1 and 2?
1 and 2 are working. We're working on 4. We just have to look at it. There's a serial number.
Cool.
We're gonna get it. It'll be working. We can make 3 work. That's why the generator's running. Okay, so I guess we got open mic. Does anybody want to discuss anything?
Yeah, I have a couple things. Something was brought up to me today, because I'm doing conditioning with my team, and they asked, one of the kids has a heart condition, and asked if we have the defibrillators. Last time I knew the batteries were dead, and
No.
can we?
They work. The padding on them with the wires are expired, so I don't know if we could still use them, but it works. We turned it on, me and Courtney, during Willow's bash.
How many do we have? I mean, it'd be good to have one by field 5 and one at the main concession
I know
stand.
we only have one.
And
I don't know
also,
if there's anything in that concession stand by Field 5, but in the main concession stand, there's one.
but also, at one point we had a firefighter come and give a training.
That was Brian Paul. They were coaches here.
I know that, but I mean, I don't know if we could reach out to something, because something happens. It might be good to have. I mean, I've been trained a few times, but it's been a while. It might be a good thing to, safety of the kids, or shoot a parent, or
There's an 8U softball coach who's a firefighter. You can ask him. Mark Murphy. Yeah. I'll ask him.
See if we can get that and then get the coaches together.
Training.
I think last time was Mike Adams and Brian Pollock. They did it,
Was it CPR?
so that might be.
Opening day or opening night or something. Maybe we can get them together at one point.
I mean, that something we should probably
That's a good idea. Definitely, yeah.
something I think we probably should certify yearly. Make sure those machines are good.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll get the field directors together because we're gonna have to all be there, whoever's there, and they know how to use it.
Yeah, I'm sure we could reach out to any of the local fire stations, and they.
Oh yeah.
Olivia knows somebody. Yeah, Olivia knows somebody too.
I think I think the one we had was donated. I think they got it. Brian, I don't know if it was Brian Pollock, but
I think Mike
they're
Adams brought
yours,
that one.
maybe. Yeah. That
But it,
yeah.
I think a little CPR class, and that would be
The last thing, which I haven't got yet, is the walkies. I'm going to get walkies so we have them for the field directors in session, so we can try to reel in the chaos from the managers and the parents and stuff like that. We want to try to hit it hard right away so we can set a precedent.
maybe some of the T-ball umpires, especially the young ones, maybe should have a walkie, because I mean those are the ones that are usually get bullied, and T-ball's over there, and we're dealing with the fight over in
Yeah, I
12
think
U.
we talked about that's where the FD's going to post up about half the time. Is down there.
Yeah,
And
we-
actually, we can have one that we give the umpire that goes down there so he has it with him.
I just think at least the younger umpires should have one, because if I'm over at Field 5 dealing with something, T-balls, I'm not going to know what's going on over there.
Dave, can you send me a list of the breakdowns so I can put them in concessions for umpires of the pay?
The pay?
Yeah, the breakdowns in each age division, because that means
Yeah,
they're
I'll
older.
get with Danny, and I'll get
yeah.
you.
Yeah, but now there's new pay.
I'll get that for you.
Thank you, sir.
I have one more thing. 15U. I know we're pretty packed with 4 teams, but some of us thought we could probably almost add 6, because we all have 12 and we had waiting lists, and I had other people reach out to me. Next season, if we have Seminole, could we open that up where we might be able to wait, especially fall, because lots of kids went to school ball, and they're waiting to see tryouts, whether they could we push maybe that back a week and maybe expand, because a lot of people, we have like the biggest 15U program going right now.
Yeah.
And I think we could potentially have 5 or 6 teams.
Yeah, that would
I-
definitely work as long as the
We have to have
we-
Seminole.
they
we put-
understand
yeah.
that they might not be practicing at our fields. They might be practicing at Seminole.
We pushed it back last spring to let the high school. We just didn't do it because of fall.
Yeah,
but
middle
we could
school.
Totally
There was,
do it.
you know, that the one kid that ended up getting added on. That's what he was waiting to see if he made the middle school team, and
Yeah.
he didn't. And then
we jumped on. Yeah.
he jumped on. So if we maybe push it back a week to let some of those tryouts, we potentially could easily have 5. We could easily have 5
6,
teams
yeah,
this
5
season.
or 6, yeah. If we only had
I mean,
managers.
we have 48
Yeah.
kids, and we had a waiting list, and I had other kids reach out to me, and I was like, we're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, it
We
was-
can't fit anyone else.
We also got to remember that every team we get, we have to find a manager for.
I know.
Yeah. What? How often do they do the Seminole thing?
It's yearly.
Yearly. Oh, so we have it for now. Okay. So we can do
Just
two.
a thought, like, because we
Yeah.
probably have the biggest 15U,
And hopefully it'll be
around
bigger
right
in
now.
the spring too.
and we at least turned down 1 team, if not
Yeah.
2.
Not a good time.
We'll
yeah.
definitely stay on top of that and see if we could open up the area so we can keep giving them high school kids somewhere to go instead of down the street. Got anything else, Dave? You sure? All right. So nobody has anything else? All right. Paper says closed meeting.
What time are we doing? Are we opening ceremonies? Are we starting the parade at 6:30 or 7? Do we want to go later? What do we want to do? Not later. 6:30?
We started lining up last time at 6 and we walked at 6:30.
Does that sound good still? Yeah? Okay.
Okay, that being said, I guess I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that's it.